Oh, me?
Hi, welcome to another awesome Chubs Gone Wild episode. This is episode 416, recorded on October 18th, 2021, where it is currently about 64 and sunny outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios.
Checking.
Okay.
I'm showing 62.
Oh, that's 64. So nice.
64 is the high.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me, 4 episodes in our high episodes coming up. It'll be our 420th episode. We can do it. It'll be fun. Anyway.
Did you see Christina posted pictures of Bob? Like young Bob?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And did you see that Taffy Carlisle Huffington posted pictures of Tank?
I did not.
Oh, you should, when you get a chance, you should check them out. They are just lovely. Absolutely lovely. I can't participate in that because the whole thing is you go on Facebook and then they're all like, post 2 pictures of guys that you had crushes on when you were younger and then post pictures of who you're with. Well, you know what? I can't post pictures of nothing.
Well, you did well then.
Yes, I got it out. It was so nice. Anyway, so last night, we had not our first rain of the season.
It's our first measurable rain.
Yes, and it was wonderful, and it was beautiful, and it poured, and I heard it outside, and it was lovely until 10:30 when the power went out.
Well, it's funny because the here there wasn't a whole lot of rain, but it did come down. Yeah.
I mean, it was like pouring when I was.
But I had power and continued to watch all sorts of television and fun stuff while you were
sitting in
the dark
by my beautiful candles and my little Halloween tree lights. It was
very spooky.
It was. Actually, the thing that annoyed me is that there was no white noise. So you could hear the freaking cats outside.
Oh, that's cat rape.
Well, cat rape or rage, one or the other. Awful. But yeah. So the whole thing about the people forget to drive after the first, when it rains for the first time and power goes out. But it did, and it didn't come on until almost 5 a.m. So I had to journal, and then I had to use up all the rest of my data package on my on one of the phones so that I could watch something to keep me occupied while I tried to fall asleep. It was hideous.
Well, you could just turn everything off and go to sleep.
No, I can't. There was no fan. It was horrible. I'm addicted to my fan at night.
Well, they have these new things.
Mm-hmm.
They're like batteries that you can set up ahead of time. So you charge up these portable batteries that have plug-ins, so you can use your fan or a light, stuff like that.
Now, you're not talking about a generator. You're talking about like an independent little...
Right, something that like the size of an old radio that it's a little bit bigger. Okay, the Geiger counter thing that they always use in the old scary movies?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
About that size. And it's got a 3-prong plug in it. It's also got places where you can charge your phone, the port things. So they're really cool. Yeah. That's the funny thing, because when I'm looking at that, I was going, well, the thing is we can go to bed and still have a fan on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't need the noise half as much as I need the air movement.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. I understand. Yeah, actually, air movement helps me with when I start feeling kind of a panic attack coming on. If I kind of sit in front of the fan and have the air, it helps a lot. So anyway,
you talking to the fan to make the funny noise? That helps.
I haven't. You know what? I haven't probably done that in years, but I used to. I used to do that all the time as a kid. It was so neat.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, things you do. It is 13 days until Halloween, 39 until Thanksgiving, 41 until Hanukkah, 64 till solstice, 68 until Christmas, 69, we're going to go with 69, until Kwanzaa, 75 until New Year's Eve, and just 76 days until season 2 of Call Me Cat. I'm so excited. I don't know which I'm excited for, Christmas or Call Me Cat. Anyway.
Well, if that really is your decision, then you've got more problems than I thought.
Yeah. Well, somebody around here, and I won't say who, but it wasn't my mother, said, well, you know, we really don't need to do much for Christmas. We should set a limit. People that say that, they're stupid.
Well,
just saying.
Wait. There's only you and your mother there.
Is there? Is there? Anyway, today we celebrate some other holidays.
Chihuahua's starting to talk now.
Other days we celebrate International Adjust Your Chair Day, which I just did. Oh my God, I totally celebrated it.
Oh, too bad they didn't get to see it because it was hilarious.
I know, you got to see my butt bouncing down. Also, it's a multicultural diversity day, National Chocolate Cupcake Day. I don't know about that one.
Well, if it was red velvet, you'd like it.
Oh, yes. Or I was thinking if it was like a white or a lemon cake. And
No. My point here is red velvet is just chocolate cake. Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just chocolate cake made red.
Okay.
So you like that. So yeah, you can have the chocolate cupcake in the form of red velvet.
Chocolate, though.
Oh, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's true.
And red velvet always gets a vanilla cream cheese anyway.
Yes, it does. Deservedly so. Also, it's National Clean Your Virtual Desktop Day. We all need to do that, I am sure. Mine's getting a little cluttered recently with all the new stuff. Also, we've got National No Beard Day. That's not happening for me. I don't appreciate that day at all.
That's not a beard.
Isn't it?
No.
Isn't it? Anyway. I love beards. I do not approve of shaving your facial hair.
Well, you remember back, it was like right before the pandemic, where women groups were trying to get men to shave. And they're going, well, you know that your facial hair retains poop when you go to the bathroom. And my answer was, so what are you gonna do? Shave your fucking head? Well, you don't think that has fecal matter in it?
No, you don't.
Shut up.
Your downstairs parts don't have fecal matter in it.
Well, mine always do because it just doesn't wipe off all the way.
Oh dear. Anyway, we're gonna pretend you didn't say that so we can.
Well, Tom Segura's wife said she'd never eat his ass because it's too hairy. And it really doesn't wash out.
Well, speaking of, it's World Menopause Day.
Oh?
Okay, so moving on. Apparently the dogs are inside. Kaya is barking at a delivery that happened half an hour ago. So, it is today's affirmation. I have a great relationship with money. It loves me and fills my pockets. So true. All right.
That's kind of odd.
What?
I mean, for your calendar, that's kind of odd.
Well, yeah. I mean,
money loves me and gives me things.
Money, money, money. Anyway, Patreon, speaking of money, Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, books, videos, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons: Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Sausage from the Unifox, Timothy Eric, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, Moose P, and Sean. Thank you all. And if you would like to become a supporter of the show, just go over to patreon.com/MattBurlingame. And for as little as $1 a month, you can occasionally get exciting things and all of our love. Because we do. We give you love. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. Speaking of love, it's time to give love to some people who have birthdays coming up at some point. Today's birthdays we celebrate Kay, Jamie, and Jonathan. Remember Jonathan? He was just a sweet little 19-year-old baby that we were acting with. And now he's a 41-year-old, bearish, hot-ass man. What? Why are you holding your hands over your face?
I had a dream yesterday that I was so old that nobody really wanted to talk to me. And they kind of sat me in a corner and it's kind of like in the old days when grandma would come and stay and you give her some Matiszewicz wine, sit her on the couch with some Lawrence Welk, and everybody had to go and get the wet kiss from her, and then they ignore the rest of the day. That's how I was feeling. So 19-year-old turns 41 just makes me feel like I'm super old.
Well, first off, you are. That's okay. We all are. We're all getting there. But so we'll all be sitting on the couch with you, being ignored by all the young ones.
No, because I'll outlive all you.
Hey, there's a goal. But as far as Jonathan turning 41, I say yum. He's finally of age to date me. Anyway, also happy birthday.
Hey, you can add his picture to that Facebook challenge.
Oh, that would be nice. I'd like to add his. So yummy. All right. Also happy birthday to Lewis, Daniel, Richard, singer Casey Stratton, Aussie Martinez. Wait a minute, we did that. Oh, those are recent birthdays. Well, I hope y'all had happy birthdays. Moving on. Terrible. I know Facebook has changed this and it just irritates me.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm blaming them. Also, happy birthday to Billy, Julie, Mike, Frank from the Bears. Your friend Frank. Moved down.
I know who Frank is.
Also, that Pizza Babe, who was one of the founders of the Freak Network, which was one of the original podcasting networks back in the day. Happy birthday, Pizza Babe. Also to Victor, Arturo, Alex, Ronald, Kate, Tiffany, Kimberly, Anthony, Alfonso, and Deanna. You remember Deanna? She worked with us at the theater. She was Susan's partner for a while.
I know who she is.
Okay, just checking because I'm looking at your face and I'm getting the, like that thoughtfulness. Like who? Who? All right, moving on. Today we do have a little bit of feedback, and it comes from Sean, who watches us on the YouTubes. He said there's a burger place there that makes fried pickles, and they're not bad. Huh. I wonder if we have one here. I'm kind of interested in trying one.
Just have Larry do it.
Who's Larry?
Lawrence.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if he would.
Why not?
Well,
all you do is you batter a pickle and then you fry it.
Oh. Is that all there is?
Well, that's all it is. There's not a whole lot to it.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Also, I want to send some chub hugs out to Kathy Bacon because she's Kathy Bacon. And I had other chub hugs I wanted to send out, but they didn't make it on here and my brain is fried. So, but also I do want to send one out to my uncle and aunt. My aunt is finally home. She had COVID very, very badly, very bad. And she is home with oxygen now. And he had it pretty bad too, but he was vaccinated and is doing much better. So he is taking care of her. So, yeah. Anyway, Tom, you got some chub hugs you want to send out?
Yeah, I'd like to send a chub hug out to my dear friend Damien on the loss of his sister.
Oh,
And if you look at their picture, the picture he posted of her,
yeah.
it looks like Damien in drag. I didn't realize how much he looked like his sister.
Oh,
The
wow.
mouth and the eyes are like the same. And you would know him as Damien, that person who moved from California just to spite me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing that's been getting me is that almost every time I go on Facebook again, and thankfully it hasn't been this way for a while, but now when I'm going on Facebook again, I'm seeing all sorts of pups that have passed, all sorts of kitties that have passed, people's relatives and stuff. And it's so sad. It's like every time I sign on Facebook, I know that I'm going to have to make a sympathy, post for somebody. And it's just really sad.
Well, that's because you have, you know, thousands and thousands of friends.
I
And
don't
out
have
of all that,
nearly as many friends as you have.
you're just increasing your chance every day of having more people that you're going to need to, do that with.
Well, I thought most of mine were just spam. People that are just waiting to steal my password so that they can get in and tell my friends to send them money. So anyway, well, current topics. So a high school puts on a drag show for its homecoming halftime show. Both faculty and students strutted across the field as fans decked out in rainbows waved pride flags. Wow, we're chic. Netflix fires trans employee that was planning a protest against Dave Chappelle's transphobic comedy special. All these white people are going around talking to the press and speaking publicly on Twitter, and the only person who gets fired is the black person, one Netflix employee said. Also, Lance Bass.
Have you seen the show yet?
The Dave Chappelle one?
Yeah.
No, I don't care for him.
Oh, it's an excellent show. Excellent.
Okay.
And it's not transphobic at all.
Okay.
I wish these people would have seen it. And I've watched a bunch of our listeners has seen the show as well. And they're like, I don't get it. What is the problem here? What is, maybe because I'm not trans, that I don't understand everything, but I know how you get insulted on, comedy shows, they go after gays all the time. And it's like, this, and if you are an employee of a company and you protest the company for one of their major stars, I'd fire your ass too. Okay. I mean, let somebody else do it and you can go to the protest. You don't start the protest. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't think that it is really transphobic at all?
Not at all. Not at all. It was actually, he was talking about a friend that he had that was transsexual, and that he actually was helping out her comedy career, and he loved her. He talks about her. But I think what's happening is everyone's reactive and not actually seeing the show. And right. And I understand if you don't like Dave Chappelle's comedy, that's cool. But then I would expect you not to comment on the show. I mean, you didn't. You just reported on the situation. I'm not saying that you were, doing it, but a lot of people I know are. And it's like, this is now, if you want to go after somebody, go after Marlon Wayans and that terrible show he had on HBO. Where he was going after lesbians and gays and anybody else he could find to get a laugh off of. That's a bad show. This one was really, I mean, Sean and I sat here and afterwards we're like going, I don't get it. Did we not hear something? I mean, he did go, I'm tired of trans people hating me because they don't like my comedy. But, it's like, that's all really he said negative against trans people. He didn't do the whole bathroom thing that so many comics do. I mean, there's so many other people doing more transphobic jokes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll just leave it at that.
Well, then I might go ahead and give it a give it a watch and see. I just sometimes when he had his show, it was very hit and miss for me. Sometimes I thought it was really funny, and sometimes I just kind of was like, whatever. This just
kind of like Call Me Cat.
Joking. Well, I have always been very transparent about the first few episodes. I'm like, I don't know how that show made it.
I was joking. It's a joke.
I just say, hey, you bring it up, I'm gonna throw down. But you know what? Talking about this, I watched Drew Lynch Concussed, the full special. Have you seen it?
Of what?
Drew Lynch. He's the comedian that stutters.
No,
a real cute, hot little cub. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Anyway, I will point you to it because I think you would really like it. But anyway, he makes a joke in there that says that if he transitioned and became, transgender, that he would call himself Rue because it was Drew without the D. Get it? Get it? Without the D. You give me that look. Do you get it?
No, I get it. I just
okay. Just well, it's funnier when he says it. Anyway, but the point is that could be considered,
absolutely.
But if you watch it in the context of the show, it's not.
Right.
So anyway,
what's
and I will send you that link because you should watch it. It's very good.
Okay, what's bothering me right now is why is it that gay couples are getting twins all of a sudden?
Well, I guess there's a 2-for-1 special going on.
I mean, how does it? I don't understand. Do they do fertility, or because I thought normally what they were either doing was adopting from somebody who's putting their child up for adoption, or they went through a surrogate where one of the couple would be the father.
Right.
But still, that's an awful lot of twins. I mean, Buttigieg and let's see, what's his name? I know this right now, and I can't think of his name. It's Neil Patrick Harris. He's got twins.
They got twins too. Yeah.
And now Lance Bass and his husband, they have twins.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that the next story was Lance Bass and his husband.
That was leading into your next story. God,
I know you were. It was a beautiful transition, but I was just a little late on the pickup. Woo! Anyway, but interesting though. You're right. It's wow.
I mean,
it is the thing to do. But I figured, what? If you're gonna get one, you might as well get the other because then you just have to go through the whole fucking process again to get another one later.
Or don't do it at all.
Right. It's kind of like cats. When you get a cat, you really should get 2 so they can, not be lonely when you leave them at home for hours.
But Susie doesn't like other cats.
How's your cat doing?
She's fine.
Still coming in and hanging out?
The last 4 nights she stayed overnight, which is weird.
Cool. Hey, you know what? With this weather, they're going to get the outside cats that we have now are hunkering down. They're going under the houses. They're sleeping in the planters.
When she came in last night, she was wet, like very wet.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm glad that she's got you. All right. Hey, Tom wants to talk to you about.
Well, first of all, I want to say that hockey's back on TV again. They're playing it, which means that I do have limited time now, but I'm going to devote. You will not see a change in my viewership of the shows that you want me to watch. So just let people know that that's happening. Cool. Let's see. On Survivor this week, we had another backdoor with the guy. Instead of leaving with the idol in his pocket, he let the person who backdoored him have the hold on to the idol to prove that he would vote with her.
Why do they do that?
I know. There's just if you got an idol, play it. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
You can never be that confident.
Yeah.
So British baking contest person they sent home this week, I was very sad about. I won't tell you who it is.
Okay.
I'll just tell you, very sad who they've sent home. Let's see, on the Masked Singer this last week, the cupcake was sent home, and it was Ruth Pointer of the Pointer Sisters.
Oh,
I
love her.
And at one point in the clues, they did have the cupcake jumping, jump roping.
Jump.
Yes. So
oh my love.
Yeah, and then there's this there's this one character, and I can't remember who it is now, but I'll remember when I see them. They were talking about it was a dating, they could ask about love and dating through from the judges. And so one of the judges goes, what's your biggest what's your best part of your body? And he said his dimples. So immediately, I'm thinking, okay, it's Mario Lopez. But then he goes, but then I'm really hairy. And I'm like, okay, that's not Mario Lopez.
No.
So I'm pretty sure. Do you remember Easy A?
That sounds really familiar, but
Emma Stone, a movie where it was the whole Scarlet Letter thing. It's a fabulous movie. You need to watch it. Anyway, her love interest in the show was the guy who's on Netflix's You.
Okay.
And I guess he's like a killer or something in You. Well, I looked up actors with and then it said he was one of the guys listed, and I know he's really hairy, so I think it's him. Okay. Just a little throw out there. I want to see what happens. Right. I'm probably wrong, but let's see. Project Runway is back on Bravo, and this is the one with Kristen Serrano, and not Tim Gunn and Heidi. This is so fun. And then the show We're Here is back on HBO, and this is where Eureka, Bob the Drag Queen, and Sangela. Oh, I'm having trouble.
Wow. I haven't heard her in 5 minutes.
Well, they go around to different small towns and put on drag shows.
Oh, is that what that's about? Okay.
It's a really cute show. And, I would love it even more if I could get Sean to shut the fuck up during it. It's a constant, oh, well, this and that and this and that. I'm like, shut up. I want to hear the dialogue.
Huh. Wow.
Okay. So, okay. Oh, this is fun. Okay. Midnight Mass. This is the Netflix series that had a priest and a prisoner just got out of jail, and a new sheriff. They show up on this island community off of the East Coast, and what happens is people start dying, and there's some sort of creature that's making all this happen. Anyway, it's incredibly slow.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because they have these guys monologuing. Like I know everything about all of the main characters because they have these beautifully written monologues. Okay. But for a movie, it's a little long. The scenes go a little long. But there's a character, Sister Bev, played by Samantha Slayan. And she is as evil and as awful and as horrible as Dolores Umbridge.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
saying a lot.
I mean, you're just like, oh my God, somebody kill her. She needs to die. So, yeah, you'd really appreciate that. Let's see. Only Murders in the Building on Hulu. This is the final episode coming up. So, looking forward to that. It has been renewed. Let's see, American Horror Story. We're still trying to find the perfect hybrid alien human baby so they can save both races. Let's see, the Care. Dan got married on the Connors this week to Louise, played by
Kelly Bundy's mother.
Yes, Peggy Bundy. Kelly Bundy's mother.
I really do like that actress.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing. she's been on 3 long lasting series. See, that's the thing about television. Can you make it on more than one series?
Right.
And she went Peg Bundy to Motorcycle Mama. So she really flipped that around. Anyway, Evil this week. Oh my God. It was the season finale. We're finding out that there's like 60 groups of evil. And so basically they found out that they're all harboring around they know a few that are around New York. And there was like this one winged creature that was so scary. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. David became a father, a priest father, and then he made out with Kristen afterwards. And they're probably going to do it. So they're all having problems here.
Sounds like they're just ripping off Paperclip Messiah.
Yeah, because that's what people do.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Halloween Kills is on Peacock. I haven't watched it yet. I want to watch it in the evening, but it's been hockey or it's too late, and I don't want to watch it right before bed. Last night I was watching a Carpenters thing on PBS, and all night I'm dreaming about the Carpenters. But I did meet Karen, so that was cool.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Let's see. I have that twice, don't I? Okay. And the morning show, which is the one on Apple TV with Reese Witherspoon. What's fun about this, and I say fun in kind of a
tongue-in-cheek.
Well, the thing is that the storyline starts on in January 2020. So we keep hearing about this virus in China, but nobody's paying any attention to it, right? And so you basically know that the end of the season is going to be, okay, everyone pack your shit, go home. We're going to figure out how we're going to run shit, but you can't be here anymore. We have to close down the building.
Wow.
Well, because that's what they did.
Yeah.
MSNBC, the entire MSNBC show was shot from people's basements and bedrooms, and they had people in controllers that were working, but none of their front people were in the studio at all. It was crazy, and I'm sure that happened like across the board. So that's where I'm seeing it go. So it's kind of fun because of that. And then this was the cutest thing. Okay, Brett Goldstein, who plays Roy on Ted Lasso, the one who won the Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy.
Yeah.
Well, he was talking. Well, they were talking. I was watching. I think it was Extra, and they were talking how he's a big fan of the Muppets because they were talking about the Muppets Halloween, and they go, yeah, and we have a video of him singing a song from the Muppets Christmas Carol, and he's saying, it feels like Christmas, last night before one last sleep before Christmas. Yeah. He was saying that, and he had a little costume on, and he's playing it on a guitar. This was the cutest fucking thing I'd ever seen. Nice. And then Saturday Night Live this week had Bowen Yang on it. Well, he's always on it, but he actually got to do something this week, and he played a kid. It was a pageant of bugs, basically. It was like they're like not kindergartners, but like junior high, and they have to talk about the bug that they represent. So there was like a stink bug, and there was a ladybug, and he comes out and he's got all these legs, and he goes, "I'm a daddy long legs," and then he does a dance, and then they go, "Okay, well now Bowen, tell us about what," and he goes, "No, call me daddy," and he goes, "Hey, daddy, what do you like to eat?" And he goes, "Boys, boys, boys." And then he does another dance, and then at one point he's got like a credit card, and he goes, "And don't worry, it's on daddy tonight." And then I was dying. Although he did all the gay parts every time they needed a gay character. He did the gay character, and I don't care. He played. He played. Oh my. He played him, and then he played a gay Oompa Loompa that
George
was
Takei.
protesting this Timothy Chalamet
I saw
movie.
something about that. Okay.
And he's like they introduced him as an openly gay Oompa Loompa, and he goes, okay, first of all, who says that I'm openly gay? What do I? What about me makes you think that I'm gay? You know, and he was, but he goes, yeah, well, great. My parents are in Oompa Land, and this doesn't go over. You know, they're not quite as liberal in Oompa Land, but it was very funny show.
Nice.
Otherwise, my garden was very happy with last night's rain.
Yes.
And that's about it.
Awesome. Excellent. I have not. I'm gonna have to go just check out his scenes.
Yeah, I did post part of the Daddy Longlegs because they didn't have the whole scene available on Twitter, but
okay,
maybe on YouTube.
Yeah, or a Peacock.
That's true.
I think they probably have it. All right, awesome. Well, thank you.
Oh, by the way, on Peacock, I've already seen this twice. I've gone to watch the David S. Pumpkins scene from Saturday Night Live with Tom Hanks, where they're in the elevator of terror. And that thing just makes me laugh every time.
Very cool.
Okay.
Yep.
How about your week?
Well, as I said a little bit earlier, I watched Concussed by was the full special. It's on YouTube. It's Drew Lynch, and he was on, I think it was America's Got Talent. And he was when he was a kid, he was hit in the throat with a baseball, and then he fell back, got a concussion, and then fell asleep on the concussion. And when he woke up, he had a stutter, and it was a permanent stutter. So, but he has become very popular as a comedian, and he has grown up from being a cute little 20 something year old twink into a very woofy 30-ish hot bearded yum. So anyway, go check out his special. But actually it's really good. He comes off, I mean, he really does push the envelope with the things that he gets into, including some COVID stuff, and I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, if it's good, it is like good humor. So go check that out. And you know, he's adorable too. So then Mr. Michael Sage, one of my dear buds, said, hey, have you checked out this little cartoon? Well, it's not a cartoon, it's a kind of digital animation. Have you checked out this show called Room on the Broom? And it's actually a fun, positive show about a witch who has a broom, and she has a cat, and then all these accidents happen, and she ends up finding all these fun friends that come along with her on her broom. And I'll leave it at that because it's kind of short. It's under half an hour. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but it's really fun, and it may be aimed toward, you know, kind of kids, but adults would really like this too. I was really blown away with it. In fact, I actually bought it. It's like $6.99 on Vudu, and I know that this is something that I will now watch every Halloween and maybe beyond Halloween. So it's really fun. And then after that, I ended up being on YouTube yesterday, and I was searching for something. I forget what the heck I was watching. Oh, I'll talk about that next week. But I ended up finding the finale episode of Vicious. So, because they did season 1 and 2, and then they did like this finale. And I know I've seen the finale because parts of it were familiar, but there was a lot of it I didn't remember at all. And it was so good. I mean, I was like crying and laughing and just like going with the whole thing because Vicious is such a good series. It's
a ripoff.
I know it's a rip off of your work, and I totally see that. But let me tell you, I as much as I would love for there to be more of them, I also know that what they did was so good that if they had done more and it had gotten watered down, I would have been sad about that.
Well, just I always use AbFab. They kept going and going and going, and towards the end they needed to stop.
Right. Yeah. I absolutely agree. So anyway, if you like Vicious, and if you haven't seen it and you don't know what I'm talking about, go check it out. The first episode actually is free on YouTube right now. But seriously, it's a fabulous show.
I've been going on YouTube to watch scary scenes because we had a listener suggest that.
Right.
Oh my God. I have to watch them while Sean's in the house, and I watch them a lot of times without sound.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I've noticed too, is that things are scarier with sound. So sometimes when I know there's a scene that's about to pop up and it's gonna scare me, I'll turn the volume down low and I'll push my chair back away from what I'm watching, because I feel like if there's some distance and it doesn't go ta-da, it won't freak the fuck out of me. So
well, sometimes when the wind is blowing hard, like we've had the last week, the door between the garage and the house will open on its own.
Yeah, will open. Yeah, with us it's closed. Like if we have the wind going, and if one of the doors or windows opens, the bedroom doors will all slam shut, and it's just like really startling. Anyway, so the season 6 and 7 of The Good Witch, I may have talked a little bit about that on the no, I think I just watched it this week. Anyway, it had they put the episodes up on Netflix, and I had not seen either 6 or 7, and I was very, very happy that they were there because Halloween time. So I binged those, and I got to the end of season 7, and I was like, this episode feels weird. Hold it in. Anyway, I'm like, this episode feels weird. It feels very finale-ish. So I looked it up. I looked it up, and sure enough, they're not doing the show anymore. Season 7 was the last season finale and our series finale, and I was so disappointed because this really is, for me, it's like one of those shows that I can just put on in the background, calm. It's kind of like the British baking show, where you just, if there's a slight problem, it's going to be fixed. It's okay. We're all here for you. Anyway, so that is done, and I am sad about it, but it was such a good show. And season 6 focused more on lovey relationship type thing. So by the time they got to 7 and started another, storyline, I was very happy about that. But the thing about 7 that I loved, they had Black characters and Hispanic characters that were more than just people in the background, because this was a very white show, very, very white heterosexual show, but not anti-gay or anti any of that. It's just the way they casted it was Hallmark. Anyway, so they finally added diversity on there. They added a lesbian love story and a full lesbian kiss. They actually finally said that they were witches, which they have never said through the whole show, except for the first episode, the word witch was mentioned. After that, throughout the entire series, they never say anything about it. They finally come out as witches in the last season. And that's not a spoiler. It is, but it was a surprise when they finally said it. Yeah, I know you're finding this boring, but I'm not. Anyway, it was so good. Also, seasons 1 through 6 are in a bundle. So if you do like The Good Witch, it is a bundle for $29 on Vudu. So grab that. Season 7 you have to buy separate, and there's like 10 movies, but I haven't seen any of them. And then finally, but the point I was going to say is when you were talking about sticking with the series, Bailey Madison, the one who played Grace on there, and the son, but I think the son, I don't know, they just ended his storyline. But Bailey Madison like left the series. Like, I guess it was her choice to leave the series and go do other things. And my thought is always, if you have a fucking successful series and you're getting paid, you stick with that series until it's done.
Yeah, you know, if you want to do something else, do it on. I mean, you only shoot, you know, a portion of the year.
Right.
It's not like, I mean, I understand on soap operas, they film all year long. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
If you want to go do other things, it makes it a little more difficult. But if you're on a series, how many episodes are there in a season?
Like there were 10 episodes in about each season, 10 to 12, I think.
Okay. Then sit through it, you dumb shit, and get paid.
Yeah. You get paid. You're part of a community that is like a dedicated fan base. You're going to get residuals for whatever the fuck goes out there. I mean, come on, stick with it. And I'm just saying,
people might not be as happy with you when you go to those Comic-Con type places, and they go, oh yeah, that's the one who left the show. I'd rather get my autograph from somebody who stayed with the show.
Right. I agree. Yeah. So anyway, and then finally, since I didn't know what the hell to watch after that, and everybody's been talking about it, I started watching the Squid Game. I am up to episode 6. In fact, I watched the episode 5 today before the show, and I don't watch TV or anything like that in the morning. So have you been watching it?
Done.
Oh, you're done with it. Okay. So, question.
Okay.
What do you just reiterate to me what you think about the show?
Okay, what happened in the 5th episode? So I don't.
Okay, I am up to the point where oh gosh, this might be spoilers. So if anybody,
what game is it?
Oh, shit. No, I don't remember.
Did they do the marble game?
No, not yet.
Okay.
No, this they did the
tug of war.
Honeycomb. Yeah, that's the last game they did. That kind of freaked me out. So, well, I mean, you know, I always put myself in that and think, God, what a fucking horrible way to, you know. Anyway, I don't want to give any spoilers, but let's just say that, wow, I can understand why this show is popular. Maybe not as popular as it is, but it's interesting. Well, it's engaging.
Yeah, and it's this is why I say that if you televised like people being put to death,
yeah,
you'd get ridiculously high ratings.
Yeah,
because people are fascinated with this kind of activity, and granted, it's, you know, it's silly as can be. Still, it's fun, and yeah, I totally get why people like it. It's gory, but and
very,
and like, you know, Brian's like, well, I don't like any of the characters, and I go, well, then you have no problem with them dying now, do you? Calm down.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is, and they do have a really funny takeoff on the Squid Game on Saturday Night Live this week. Pete Davidson and Ronnie Malik, they sing the Squid Game. It's a country song.
Okay.
And it's a really cute takeoff on it. But yeah, it's a fun show.
Yeah.
You know, it's you know, it's kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe they just did that.
Exactly.
You know, people are shocked, but they also are fascinated by it. So
yeah, and it is. I mean, it actually from after, and like you told me, episode 2 is boring. Wait till episode, and then right at the top of 3, it just like it freaking takes off. So anyway, Fat Marker wants to remind you to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be you. Because they want to remind us that those of us who have been told that we are too much of something, we need to turn those negatives into positives. And you can do that by going over to fatmarkerclothing.com and getting 20% off anything while ordering by using the code FMWildChub. Yay! Don't forget Christmas is coming up, and don't forget with the things that are going on with the post office, order early.
Well, it's not just the post office. They're saying that, because, well, like off the coast, the port of Los Angeles, there's 81 tankers, those big things with all the carts, those things on it, what do they call it? Pallet things. And they don't have enough people to unload it, and they don't have enough people to drive it out of there. So they're running really, really slow. So don't be surprised if you don't see a lot of things very late. So definitely shop early if you're going to do that. But me, I don't do anything for Christmas. So
that is true. That is true. And that's okay. We all do our own
well,
thing.
I think that Christmas should be minimalized,
Should be what?
At your house.
Should be minimalized. Yeah. Well, we'll see how that goes. Because me, I'm a nut when it comes to Christmas. The rest of the holidays are nice, but
no bullshit. You're a nut for all the holidays.
Well, most of the fall holidays, but you don't see me going crazy for President's Day,
Valentine's Day.
Maybe I'll send a couple cards to friends.
Yeah, and then you'll see how much chocolate you can acquire, and then Easter's the same way.
There's nothing wrong with that either. Well, there is kind of for me now, but Yeah,
and 4th of July, oh my God, you're ridiculous. All you do
is complain. What? 4th of July?
You complain about all the fireworks.
Damn right I do.
But that's your way of celebrating.
Oh, celebrating being a curmudgeon about assholes when they're fireworks. All right. Well, if you've done making your point.
Advice.
One of my best friends is a man I met a few years ago with whom I suddenly fell slowly in love with. She fell slowly in love with. Despite being in our early 20s, both of us were virgins because we have religious traditions. Well, I was profoundly disoriented when he recently got engaged to another woman after dating her for only 2 months. After he became engaged, we had sex. Despite knowing that it was wrong, I think we're both relieved and grateful to have shared this intimate experience before our paths diverged. Well, the fact that we had sex makes it clear that we will have to adopt a disciplined approach to our friendship in the future. The dilemma, my friend has asked me to be his best woman at the wedding. And I agreed, but I feel as though I should pull out in light of the fact that I've slept with the groom. Well, he disagrees, and it might raise some uncomfortable questions for him if I were to drop out. But if his fiance found out that he and I slept together, well, having me in the picture, the wedding pictures, would be extremely painful. What should I do?
Okay, so there's only 2 people that know that she and him had sex, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if he's not going to say anything, she's the problem. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I was like, this is obviously not gay, because if I go to a gay wedding, pretty much everybody's already fucked everybody.
What is wrong with you?
What? Do you not watch Queer as Folk?
Well, I just know that I haven't had sex with any of my friends.
Mary, if we go back far enough.
No.
Before your first marriage there, I'm sure we could find 1 or 2 incidences where there was a little something going on.
Sorry, my friends didn't hang out at the same bathhouse I did.
Yeah, well, you just don't have friends. That's a good point, actually. But yeah, you just don't have friends from back then. Just saying. Anyway.
Never.
But well, I'm sorry, I can't walk into a bar without knowing that my friends have slept with pretty much everybody there at some point, and I could make one of those you know, charts that they do with crime scene charts or whatever, and just connect everybody to everybody, and then we'd know how the hell the syphilis started. Anyway, so what would your advice is? She needs to just shut the fuck up.
Look, if you're not going to say anything, he's definitely not going to say anything.
So
this will never come to play that the fiance finds out.
Right.
And the only way she's going to find out is if you fucking tell him.
Like,
so shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Stupid question.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Like, you're not going to do it again, obviously. So get over it. Grow up. Moving on. Here's what dear Prudy had to say. You've left me intrigued about these religious traditions of yours. Intercourse before marriage is verboten, except if it is really necessary to alleviate sexual tension that's been building with someone other than your intended. Then, relieved and grateful, the cheating partners stand side by side as one marries someone else. It sounds like a denomination, yes, that is correct, that could find itself wildly popular with politicians worldwide. I'm going to agree with you that you should pull out of this wedding before you and the groom find yourselves again in this situation that requires the groom to pull out. I've heard plenty of testimony about the beauty of saving oneself for marriage, but your experience makes it clear that sometimes it's best for two consenting adults to just hop in the sack and find out what all the fuss is about before they commit to never finding out with anyone else. It's understandable that the groom would want to take advantage of the opportunity to have slept with more than one woman in his life. But having done so, it's distasteful that he wants to include the woman he cheated with in the marriage ceremony, in the wedding ceremony. And frankly, he sounds like the kind of guy who will one day be so confused with the fact that his marriage started with a lie that he'll be moved to ease this deceit by confessing his dalliance with his best woman. At that point, you're right. The wife will probably put the wedding albums in the fireplace. The way out of this is for you to realize that you're so traditional, virginity until marriage and all, that you would prefer your dear friend to find a man to be his best man. And that one comes from, that's Emily writing as Dear Prudy in that one. Now, usually I agree with her, but I'm not so sure I totally agree with her in this one. Although, no, we're moving on. Hey, Chubs, how often do you vacuum?
Vacuum?
Well, I guess that says it all.
We don't have carpeting.
Oh, I thought you had a little Roomba though.
Yeah, but that's not for carpets. That's for hardwood floors.
Okay, but it's a vacuum, right?
I suppose, kinda.
Okay, interesting. All right. Well, for me, I vacuum. Well, not often.
Yeah, I knew that.
Not as often as I should. But now that I have a vacuum that actually really works well, I may be vacuuming more often.
I doubt it, but go ahead.
I doubt it too. All right. Hey, Chubs, how often do you dust?
I wished I dusted more.
I don't wish I dusted more, but I should.
Oh God, it's just, well, I don't. Dusting bothers me.
Yeah,
allergy area.
Yeah.
So I don't do it very often, but if I did it more often, then it wouldn't bother me as much. It's kind of a catch-22.
Yeah.
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right. Yeah. For me, I hate, though dusting is one of the things that I really hate. Well, not hate, but I don't like doing it. Here, if you don't dust every 3 days, it is coated. I mean, it's just like you haven't dusted in weeks. So it drives me nuts. So yeah, I kind of do it maybe once every couple months, except for the important stuff in the kitchen and all that gets, but shelves or something in the back, Nope.
Yeah, usually when the cobwebs form, that's usually when I jump in.
Yeah, that's a good rule.
Oh, did I tell you I'm going to make
Tilapia?
well, you know how I always make the grapefruit rinds for Christmas?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I always have all the grapefruit left over. And so last year I tried making marmalade, and it actually came out really well. It was a little loose, but then
Yeah.
that's pretty much normal for me.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of figuring out how to make that. They say if I use more of the what do you call it? The white stuff that's under the
The rind.
the rind. Yeah,
Okay.
I can't think of what that's called, but it's the bitter part. But it's a natural thickener, so we'll see what happens. But I do want. I figured I hate throwing out all that that lovely grapefruit because I don't like to eat it like.
I do. Yeah.
But I think the marmalade turned out really nice, so I think I'll do that. And I've got a can of macadamia nuts, so I'm going to make white chocolate chip macadamia cookies.
Oh, that sounds so good.
They're my favorite. That's my favorite cookie.
You know, several people have said that white chocolate and I think it's macadamia recently. Like C's Candy does a white chocolate macadamia toffee candy, and somebody recently said that was their favorite. So
yeah, that's just
that sounds really good.
Yeah, because I'm just like, as we've discussed, we're not really big fans of chocolate,
right?
But white chocolate I do like because it doesn't taste like chocolate.
Right, that's true. Cool, very cool. Okay, so moving on now into our trivia question. A trivia question for you is: how many people have viewed the Squid Game worldwide?
Last I heard, it was like 125 million households, I think is what I heard last.
Okay. So on a Google search of that this morning, the Google said Squid Game is Netflix's biggest debut hit, reaching 111 million worldwide viewers. Become Netflix's most popular series yet. So it's been out for 4 weeks, and this says 111 million, but you say 125, so that's probably the latest, and this is just what Google has.
They actually were in real trouble in South Korea because their bandwidth was so terrible because everybody was watching Squid Game.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it really is. I can understand why it's almost kind of like a show that's addicting enough that you kind of know, I don't know, you don't really want to watch, but then you want to watch what happens next, because this is, so interesting. Very, very interesting.
Well, what I find interesting is everybody's so anti-violence, but yet this is total violence and they can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's because, I mean, it really marries that, because I told you this, but I'll tell our listeners, we've had the, people hunting on island, shit for decades, if not longer. But this puts it together with, the reality television type thing, even though it's only for rich people, playing, I guess, but it does it really well. Okay, moving on. What's in your lunchbox? Well, Moose wrote in and said he has ordered Szechuan green beans and chicken for lunch, spicy with tender chunks of chicken over noodles. Wow. That really makes me want some chicken now. That looks really good.
I can actually smell the asparagus.
I was looking at those chunks of chilies.
Oh wait, is it asparagus? Yeah, it's asparagus, right? Yeah.
No, actually, I think those are beans.
Really? That looks like an
Wait.
asparagus tip. Well, I'm smelling asparagus, but I haven't had any lately, so it's not pea. So not sure.
Actually, they had a good deal at Safeway on asparagus.
Yeah. But yeah, either green beans or asparagus. I'll take it. It looks delicious.
It does. All right, and then Mr. Michael Sage wrote in.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want that Beyond Burger. That looks just so good.
It does, and yet the Beyond Burger, obviously, for those that don't know, it's a vegetarian burger. But
no, actually, it's a vegan burger.
Is it vegan?
I think they're vegan.
Okay. Whatever it is, I would eat that. I would eat it. And then he also sent a photo of eggs with vegan breakfast sausage and spinach. And that sausage looks amazing.
Yeah. But I love this sandwich because it's just grilled on sourdough. Yeah, but the lettuce, usually I don't like lettuce and tomato on stuff, but it looks like it's the perfect bite,
Yeah.
And I do see mayo, but I guess it's not real mayo.
Well, he, as far as I know, he is a vegetarian.
Okay.
So it could be mayo because he might do, lacto ovum.
Oh, wait, he did have the egg. So yeah, that's.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the plant-based stuff is vegan. You might as well.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, Golden Rule Services want to remind you that currently LGBTQ people of color in America have a disproportionately high rate of new HIV infections. Golden Rule Services of Sacramento want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, aka PrEP, is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, call your local sexual health clinic, and to find out more about Golden Rule Services, visit sacgrs.org. And also, people, remember, we have a lot of heterosexual, whatever you want to say, listeners, and we have a lot of female listeners too. And we want to remind you that if you're sexually active, PrEP is for you as well. Just saying. All right. Oh, by the way, if you want to see those lunchbox pictures, which you definitely do, go over to our Facebook group at facebook.com/ChubsGoneWild. And now you can send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Leave us a comment at chubsgonewild.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/chubsgonewild. And please consider becoming a patron of the show over at patreon.com/MattBurlingame. Find Tom's movie and TV reviews over at swannerandjudd.com. Find their podcasts at iTunes or at iHeartRadio. Find out more about my books at justkisstheguy.com and check out my other podcast at biggaysexshow.com. And a reminder that those who do listen, the big Halloween episode is coming up very quickly. Find out, no, don't find out. You go watch our videos over at youtube.com/c/MattBurlingame, or just look up Chubs Gone Wild. And give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
Yes. And by the way, I found out that my book, Last Romance, was given 5 stars by the Rainbow Awards, which I don't know if I'm going to win or not, but getting a 5-star from them was really something. So yeah, I'm very moved by that. Anyway, well, I guess we'll catch you next week, right? Bye. Come on, say it.
Bye.
Say it.
Bye.